All right, guys, welcome back. So today we are in Google Ads optimization week. So my channel, all of this week, the next 7 to maybe 10 days, I don't know, depending how much you guys like this stuff, I'm going to go through how we are optimizing Google Ads campaigns in our agency, and I'm going to give you guys a playbook, all right, a 5-step framework to optimize your campaigns. So if your Google Ads account is only sometimes bringing in leads, or even worse, it's completely stopped or you're stuck or stalled, then I'm going to show you exactly how I get campaigns producing leads quickly with some very simple optimizations, but are often overlooked. All right, so we're going to go through a few different things here. Here's the exact formula I use, and it works like clockwork. Number 1, okay, is pause the dead weight keywords. What does that mean? If you are looking on a time horizon of 30 to 60 days of data, which you should if you're going to start pausing keywords, then you're going to want to go through your keywords, sort by the highest click amounts, and go through and pause keywords that are not driving leads and getting a lot of clicks. Okay, number 1, cut the dead weight out. It's only going to drop your CPL dramatically because you're not going to be wasting that fucking money on keywords that are doing nothing for you. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you have a good data set though before you decide to pause a keyword. So this varies from industry to industry. I used to give a general rule of thumb of 12 clicks, but that doesn't really stand because in some niches, like, you need way more than 12 clicks. All right, especially if the cost per click is $4 versus $2 versus something that's like $30 a click, right? So it really depends on your money, but a generalized rule of thumb: if I see a keyword that has not produced a lead in 15 clicks, it's safe to say that keyword sucks and it's not going to work. So then I will go in and pause that. Okay, so you want to, again, use your discernment on how much money it's spent. If it was getting $1 clicks and it spent 15 clicks and you get nothing, I'd probably let it run a little longer because it only spent $15. But if it's getting, $8 clicks, then fuck yeah, man, I'm pausing that. That's wasting a ton of money. Or $10 clicks or whatever, right? So number 1, pause the dead weight keywords. I cannot stress that enough. Number 2, you're going to add what's already sending you leads that you're not currently bidding on. Okay? So what this simply means is you're going to go through your search terms report again on a 30 or 60 day time horizon, right? So we're going to go into this account in a second. I'm just kind of giving you guys the checklist first, and we're going to go through it live in this account. So keep in mind, I am sharing my screen. I know I'm just like talking right now, but so add what's already working, right? So you're going to go into your search terms report on a 30 to 60 day time horizon, and you're going to add keywords, search terms that are sending you leads that you are not currently bidding on in your campaign, okay? And you're going to do this every 30 to 60 days. Well, I honestly should be doing it every 14 to 30 days. You're going to want to go through the search terms, find what's sending you leads, and if it's a good, highly relevant keyword, high intent keyword, then you want to add that into the proper ad group in your campaign. Okay, because those keywords are layups when it comes to expanding your Google Ads campaigns to drive more leads. Number 3, blocking out the junk. Blocking out junk keywords. Again, this goes back to the search terms report, and this you're going to want to do once or twice a week, depending on how big your campaign is. You're going to want to go through the keywords, and you're going to want to find out through the search terms. You're going to want to go through the search terms, and through the search terms, you want to find things that are just not relevant or just dog shit search phrases that you do not want your ads to trigger for. So an example of this would be, let's say you're a junk removal client, then you want to go through the search terms. If you see anything about, junkyards or dump sites or waste management, those are really bad keywords, right? And you want to add those as negative keywords because you do not want your ads triggering for that stuff because it's super irrelevant to what you're actually doing. All right, so number 3 is blocking the junk from the search terms report, right? Adding negative keywords. And that, again, that's a weekly thing you're going to want to do. So number 4 is targeting the correct devices that convert, right? I segment my by device and I check performance. So and what that means is if you go into a Google Ads campaign, you have 3 options. You have computers, you have mobile phones, and tablets. Normally, I'll negative 100% tablets and just turn that traffic source off because it converts really low for us in our landing pages. And depending on the landing page you're using, you're going to want to either decrease bids or increase bids based on the device for which is sending you the highest conversion rate and the most, affordable leads and the highest volume. And we're going to go through what that looks like in this campaign in a minute. But this is a huge lever, guys, that you can use to send really high quality traffic to a device that's sending an insane conversion rate, right? So if mobile phones are converting at 30% for us and computers are converting at 8, I mean, you could just decrease the bids on computers, 50%, 25%, whatever it is. We'll get into how I do that in a minute. Or you can increase the bids on the stuff that's converting for you. All right, so there is a formula to that, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but that is a huge one, okay? Not many people do this. Number 5 is test landing pages like a savage, okay? Everyone skips this. It's insane to me, but number 5 is probably the most important thing you could possibly do in a Google Ads campaign, because you're going to get to a point where you've watched my videos or other people's videos and you know how to build Google Ads campaigns. You want to find high intent keywords. You want to get your search term traffic dialed in so it's really high quality, but if it's still not sending you conversions or leads, it's not a Google Ads problem. It's a landing page problem. And you have to understand what to do next when that happens. And this ties right into number 5. The next thing you do is you start split testing the landing page, because you don't have a Google Ads problem. You have a landing page problem. So you got to start putting all of your work and time and energy into creating a new landing page variation or variant to test against your control. And that's really huge. So now let's go into the campaign and we'll kind of walk through each one of these steps and see what it looks like in the wild. All right, so we are in an auto detailing campaign, and this is last 30 days, May 21st to June 19th, 2025. This guy's gotten 76 leads, $16, basically $17 a lead, which is pretty much what it costs now in detailing in most markets. Some markets it can be like $8, but it really depends how competitive. So if we go into the ad groups, we're going to start with number 1 from the playbook, which is pausing deadweight keywords. So sorry, we're going to go to ad groups, we're going to go to keywords, we're going to sort by clicks, right? You can see this guy got 373 clicks in the last 30 days, so it's a shitload of data we have. We got 10 leads from this one, so we're basically going to scroll down and look for keywords that have a lot of clicks but no leads. And that sweet spot again is usually 15 for 0. So it looks like this one's pretty dialed in. So I don't have to pause any dead weight keywords. Now we could look for the next other side of this coin is looking for keywords that are driving super high conversion costs, right? If we're trying to get $17 leads, we don't want to pay for clicks that or for leads, keywords that are saying leads for $50. So the next thing we're going to do is sort by cost per conversion. You'll see here, mobile auto detailing Charlotte, North Carolina. 1 for $14, $51 lead. I'm going to pause that. That's way too expensive. That's dragging up the overall CPL for the entire campaign. And so is this one, 46, right? It's pretty much the same keyword, car detailing service, Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm going to pause that as well, because these two keywords are dragging everything up. So the one, what we'll do, Monroe, 1 for 7. I'm going to leave that, 1 for 7. $39 lead. I'll let TCPA do its thing to work that down. So I'm going to leave that. So that's what I would do on number 1 of the playbook, pause deadweight keywords. If you don't have deadweight keywords to pause, then you're going to want to look for high CPL keywords and pause those. All right, and that's going to, by doing this, we're going to drop our overall campaign-wide cost per lead. All right, number 2, add what's already working. So to do that, we're going to go into Insights and Reports, Search Terms. All right, so we're going to look for keywords that we are not currently bidding on. All right. So let's grab that. Let's see here. So car detailing near me, 13 clicks, 2 leads, $21 a lead. So we could add that. It's a little high cost per lead wise. So I'm going to stay away from it for right now. But here's a great example, guys, right? 9 clicks, 3 leads, $10 a lead. Perfect. I want this one, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to grab this keyword. Now, I don't have keyword me. Oh, I do have keyword me installed on here. Okay, cool. Let me just do that then. So I'm just going to grab this whole keyword. There we go. And that should add into keyword me. Nice. And I'm going to add that as phrase and exact match. Copy those. We're going to go into Charlotte ad group, Charlotte auto detailing. We're going to go into keywords. Make sure we're in the correct ad group. Nice. We're going to add the blue plus here. We're going to paste the keyword. So this is a keyword that we are currently not bidding on that is sending us leads in a decent volume for how many clicks there are for it, considering we're not bidding on it, and also cost per lead, $10 leads, and save. So as for number 2, you're going to want to go through your search terms, cherry pick the gold like that, and add those into the correct ad groups. That's really important, guys. Make sure you're adding to the correct ad groups. All right, number 3 is blocking the junk. And again, this is why I created the Keyword Me tool, was for this exact thing. So how we're going to do that, I'm going to use Keyword Me for this example. We're going to do phrase match, remove this. And we're just going to go down, and we're going to look for junk search terms that we don't want our stuff to show for. So guys, I don't know how much we're going to find, only because this campaign's pretty dialed in. But we can look, right? So far, I don't see anything that's bad. An example of bad for this client in particular would be something like car wash, anything like that. Any type of car wash type keyword, or people looking to buy, like, you know, detailing wax or something like that. But it looks like I'm not going to find much. No, nothing in here. So let's show you what it would look like. Let's say I don't want to do interior car detailing for this guy. What I would do is grab the word interior, and I just click it with Keyword Me, and it highlights it and adds it to my list. Then I can copy it and put it wherever. But let's say you don't have Keyword Me, you're just going to copy the word interior, and you're going to go into your keywords, negative keywords, and add it to your campaign as a negative keyword. You're going to want to go through and find root negative keywords like that on a weekly basis to clean up the campaigns and keep them on the rails. All right, so that's how we're going to do that. Now, number 4, target devices that convert. So insights and reports, when and where ads showed, and we're going to move this thing over here, and we can see here, oh, I'm in an ad group. That's probably why I didn't see all my search terms. Hang on, guys. There we go. All right. All right, so we got computer, tablet, and mobile. We have tablet completely turned off. We're running mostly mobile phones, as you can tell. Computers that have a negative 5% bid adjustment. Still sending leads at an affordable cost per lead. But a majority of our stuff is mobile, okay? So for this right now, looking at it, computers is actually converting better and cheaper. So what I'm going to do is come in here. I'm going to remove this bid adjustment, the negative bid adjustment, and just let it go back. And let this go a true A/B and see which one holds true. And I want to make sure it wasn't converting cheaper because I had the negative bid adjustment on there. So what I'm going to do in this example is not really much, okay? Because my cost per lead I want to get leads at is around $16, and I'm right there with computers, and I'm about $1 over with phones, which is fine, like whatever. I'm not worried about it. But in this example, that's what I would do, all right? Now you could, like if this was like $24, $25, you can come in here and you could do a decrease bid adjustment like 5%, 8%, whatever. I usually go by 5% increments, whether up or down, and increase or decrease. And that's how you're going to want to do that with the devices, okay? You want to keep an eye on this stuff. It's really important. And just keep in mind, though, with TCPA, Google's official stance is they do not recognize device bid adjustments unless it's negative 100%, right? And then that basically means they turn the traffic source off. However, I don't believe that, and I never have. And they've been saying that for years. I see a clear difference when I make a device bid adjustment, even if I'm running TCPA. So just had to throw it out there. That is their official stance. The next piece is landing page split testing. And really, guys, it's going to come down to what your landing page software is, what you're using. So we use GHL high level, and we use Instapage. You can use Unbounce. You can use Lead Pages. You can use anything. It doesn't really matter, WordPress, as long as you have some kind of A/B testing functionality, okay? Because you're going to have to test different headlines. And I have a whole video on how my exact playbook, my methodology, and how I A/B test landing pages. I'm going to put a link below this video in the description, and you guys should go watch that right now. And it shows you how to A/B test the things I test, the order I test them in. I give you guys everything. So go check that out.